Whenever, guys. Shut that door, China. Making
So if we want to start with Andy, because you're top of my list. So Andy, you want to go first?
Luke, how are you feeling ahead of the game?
Yeah, excited, anxious, nervous. There's a few overriding emotions, but overall excited. The prep's gone really well this week. The boys have understood our sort of game plan and looking forward to arriving at Goodison now to implement it.
You'll have no doubt admired Frank Lampard, the player. How do you feel about going up against him as a manager?
Yeah, listen, I look through that in terms of what he's achieved on the playing front and as a manager. He texts me after the Bournemouth game on a Monday night. I think he's a class individual. So just to have the luxury of having 5 minutes with him beforehand or potentially an hour afterwards, I'm really looking forward to it because, yeah, we can all talk about his playing career, which is amazing, Champions League winner, what he's achieved at England and obviously his managerial career. But to do what he did for me is incredible, and I think it shows the measure of the man.
The text, if you don't mind me asking.
It was just about a one on the coach-to-coach level. Wanted to congratulate us on our result at Bournemouth. Looking forward to welcoming us at Goodison, and yeah, just a real nice message, which you don't expect from a Premier League manager.
And how do you balance sort of Boreham Wood's big day out and savouring the experience with going there to do a professional job?
Obviously, yeah, listen, I've got the man next to me now that goes there and watches as a fan. So he's going to be in awe, pinning the balls about at the start of the game and obviously starting the game. But he knows how I work, and our mentality is that we're going there to cause an upset. We went to Wembley. If we had the luxury, when we played Trammy, we went to Wembley, and I got on there on the day before to do the photos and do the videoing because we wanted to understand it was a job of work when we got there on the match day. We don't have that luxury going to Goodison, but I think we're a better squad in terms of experience. We're more astute. I've improved as a manager in my understanding of switching it on and switching it off. And we go to Goodison, like I said previously, to cause an upset. And that's not loose. We know how tough it's going to be. We're not foolish in terms of the task ahead. But yeah, we're going there to implement a game plan, and hopefully we can come out victorious.
Just one for Kane, if I may. How are you going to feel standing in that famously narrow tunnel with Z-cars just beginning to come out of the speakers?
I'm not sure, obviously with COVID reasons, it might be a different tunnel. But obviously if we get the chance to do that, it's going to be excellent for me. I think we had Z-cars playing on the way home from Bournemouth, to be honest. So yeah, it's going to be a great experience for everyone. But yeah, I can't wait.
You'd be able to enjoy it, do you think?
Yeah, I think you have to. I think moments like this don't come around often. So yeah, enjoy it while I can, and hopefully we can make another moment.
Well, thanks, boys. Best of luck.
Cheers, mate.
Perfect. Harvey, if you want to go next.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Hey Harvey, how are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm good. It's good to see you both. Good to see you both. I mean, couple questions for you to start with, Luke. I mean, what do you think it means for Boreham Wood as a town to be playing a Premier League giant like Everton?
It being a local, but we walk around the town. If I'm going to grab a coffee, it's galvanised the community, it's galvanised the town. People are collecting their tickets today. We just finished a session. They're all driving out in their cars, singing Boreham Wood songs, sending their love to us, saying how proud they are. It's been immense, and this journey hasn't just started this week going to Goodison. This was away at Barnet in the fourth qualifying round, and we had 700 fans travel there. And that was the best away day by a country mile prior to Bournemouth. And we've been on a journey with these fans. We were unfortunate last year being in the third round of the FA Cup playing Millwall in front of no fans, that we thought we may have missed an opportunity. But the footballing gods have been really kind, and they look down on us, and they've allowed for us to go this much more further. And it's just great that we're travelling up to Goodison with 1,800 fans to enjoy, hopefully, another moment. What that looks like, I don't know. A goal, a win. If we can give them a moment, I'll be over the moon.
How proud are you of where your team is in terms of competing at this stage of the FA Cup and competing towards the top of the National League as well?
Listen, this fella here has been with me for 5 years, this football club for 5 years. He knows what I think of him, the players, the staff, the club. It's not just an 11 or the 5 subs, 7 subs, whatever it may be in the management team. It's a whole team effort. This is a club that's been building to do stuff like this, and I honestly believe this has been a longer process off the back of what the chairman did 2 years ago. And I keep speaking about it, but I do actually believe that we're seeing the fruit of our labour.
Yeah. And what's your one sentence, one message to the fans ahead of this game?
Thank you, because I've got to be honest with you, it's got to be thank you. I adore this club. I adore the fans. I adore this town. I'm a Barnet boy. I'm 6 miles away, but I'm a Boreham Wood man, and I know what it means to people. I know what it means to be successful at this club and for this town to have that and travel to Goodison on Thursday night is immense. And I was told in the second round proper against St Albans, I was going to become a hero, a legend of Boreham Wood, because if we beat St Albans, he's a legend. That group's a legend. The chairman's a legend. What we've achieved is immense, and I believe we will not understand the magnitude of this cup run until we all sit down and have a beer in the summer, because for me, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Boreham Wood are going to Everton in a competitive fixture in the FA Cup 5th round. It's what dreams are.
Kane, and a question for you. Obviously, as an Everton fan, we all know, we've seen that obviously with your Hibbert shirt on after that Bournemouth game. Whose shirt are you eyeing up at the end of this game?
I've already told the boys I need to get a Richarlison shirt. Whether Marshy will let me have it or not is a different thing. But yeah, I'll be hopefully racing in towards him, or racing towards the fans when we get a win, hopefully.
I'll sub Marshy to go, so you can't get it.
All right, thanks, guys. Good luck. Wish you the best of luck.
Thank you, Hal.
Perfect. So, Joshua, you're next.
Sorry, it's Mark, but I'm just using someone else's laptop, so not quite right. I had the chairman off the back of the Bournemouth result, who was, ecstatic, both with the performance and, of course, for the financial income that progression in the cup brings. Have you had a chat with the chairman, Luke, about what this means to him? Because he's a massive Chelsea man. Frank's one of his heroes. And, of course, what this financial income will do for the future of the football club.
So obviously I got wind that the PA of Frank Lampard wanted my number. So obviously, like a giddy little kid, I rang the chairman because I know he's Chelsea mad. And he said, why don't he want my number? Obviously joking. Then obviously he then messages me, and I then ring the chairman again like a giddy little kid. And he was like, all gooey is the best expression I could say, because he's followed Frank all around the country. He adores him as a Chelsea man. So yeah, for him to see one of his idols on the side of the pitch with one of his managers is unbelievable. In terms of the financial gain, he'd forgo all this money for a moment like this. I know how he works, but I keep saying it again. He paid myself, the staff, the players, all 100% throughout a pandemic. The Astros, the bars were not having any money turnover. So this cup run, for me, feels a massive black hole. And we're not the only club, don't get me wrong. This has affected everyone across the country in whatever type of business they own. But you don't put £100 vouchers to day-to-day staff so they don't have to go to the supermarket. So I think his moral compass throughout the pandemic and COVID, I think he's getting some small reward back. And Kane's been here, Rico's been here, Dave Stevens has been a party jammer, Femi. These are all lads that were looked after over this period. I think they're doing it subconsciously repaying him. I think the performances have allowed for us to do that, and I think there's a loyalty on both fronts that he's been loyal to us throughout a awful time for the world, let alone this country, and he's gone and kept us all safe, and thankfully we're repaying him in some small way.
You spoke about the message you got from Frank Lampard. Has there been anyone else from the world of football that's reached out to you or anyone at the club to offer their congratulations or maybe give you a little bit of a pep talk ahead of what is a hugely exciting game?
So I've had, obviously social media is a powerful tool. I've had a lot of managers from Championship down to League Two that have messaged me, followed me on my Instagram page and sent messages of congratulations initially for Bournemouth and obviously wishing us all the best. So yeah, the footballing world come on immense. Obviously I've got close friends in the National League that speak to regularly that are always firing messages in with regards to wishing us the best of luck for tomorrow evening. It's a fairy tale. What we've achieved this year, it's gripped the nation's hearts. Let's be honest, that Sunday night, them reactions, him running off the pitch, and I'm thinking he needs a wee or a poo because he's going towards the changing room, and he comes back out with a Hibbert shirt on. Yeah, I think the picture of Marshy, there's things that I've got in my head now that's through the rounds that will live long in my memory. That one from Gus Mufata, and that's just sent chills all over my body, was amazing. And the Bournemouth with Marshy like this, yeah, you can't plan that. You can't organise that. The Teenage Dirtbag song that we play, for what reason why we play it, I do not know. But yeah, it shows you what this group's about. And I can't wait to get on the bus tomorrow, driving up the M1, up to Liverpool with these people, because I wouldn't want to do it with anyone. I just adore every single one of them. And the people that are going to be there, being the staff, the management, the players, the family members. And I keep saying that all I want is one moment. That's all I want. And if we can achieve that as a group, then I think we've been successful at Goodison.
Kane, be honest, since the Bournemouth result on the Sunday night to now, how many times a day have you thought about this game? Despite your manager saying you need to focus on the National League one game at a time, how much has this consumed your mindset in your day-to-day life?
I think it has every day, really, because you're getting people message just talking about that game. Obviously, we've had in-house talking about the next game's the biggest game, and we've done that really well. But obviously, you get friends and people on social media, like the gaffer said, always message you about that game, and you try to park it and put it to one side. I think we've done it really well. But yeah, in the back of your head, especially now after all the National League games are done, you've got to sit and enjoy it. And yeah, hopefully we have another moment.
Brilliant. Thanks, guys. All the best.
Cheers, Joshua.
Perfect. So Darren, if you want to go next.
Yeah. Hi, guys.
My name's Ian. I'm using Darren's laptop.
Just on the back of Joshua's question.
Nice. This is good. This is good. You can get this from what? You can get this from De Bruyne, would you?
Can I start with you first, Kane? Because you were playing for Hitchintown, was it? 3 years ago. Can you sum up what this means? Had you ever, when you were playing for them, dreamed that you would be playing against a Premier League club at their ground at any level?
No chance. Honestly, I think, especially in the FA Cup at Hitchens' level, you start at, I think it's like the fourth qualifying round, or not slower than that, the second qualifying round. And to get to the first rounds, we've got to play like 5 games to get there. So that's hard in itself. But obviously, to get to the 5th round, I'd never ever dream about that. Obviously, I think the closer I get is playing on FIFA half the time. But yeah, don't ever dream of that.
And normally when us guys from the national media would cover non-league teams or lower league teams against Premier League sides, we often ask managers, will you stop them from getting the shirts? You've answered the question in some respects already, because you'd like to get...
I'm taking Frank Lampard's shirt off his top. Tracksuit, his zippy, everything. I'll take his ballies. Can I take your pants? So if the lads can get a shirt, I'm getting everything.
I suppose that was my question, really. Do you think there might be a worry that perhaps you guys are showing them too much respect? Or do you think that this is such a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that you're just going to live the dream, if you like?
I'll answer that. This isn't too much respect. We've done an analysis on them, 16-minute clips, where we feel we can isolate them. And we felt we could isolate Bournemouth, and I felt that we've done it in spells in the first half, especially. We set traps, we pressed them with an intent. I remember speaking to people in-house here, we're going there to press Bournemouth, I wouldn't do that. And I'm thinking, I've watched the games. I've watched the Everton games, and there will be a rejig in our organisation because they are next level. And I'm appreciative of they don't play a shape. They rotate and they're fluid in their movements. But we'll have start points. We'll have bits where we know where we have to be organised and well drilled in certain areas of the pitch, and we'll cut the game up in 15 minutes. I've spoken to a player that was in the Chelsea dressing room against Chesterfield because I wanted to know what Tuchel said to them about the underdog. I've spoken to a person that beat Arsenal when they played for Birmingham, what it meant and what you needed to do to beat the team of Arsenal. So I've done a lot of background stuff. I know the stats on the underdog winning games at this late stage in the FA Cup, where the goals come from. So every time we know when we get into certain areas and certain zones, the boys have got an agreement with me, this is on now because this is an opportunity to score a goal. So the respect's there. The respect's there hugely, and I'm not foolish in any way, shape or form. They are unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. And when you say all the players and you speak it into existence, these are internationals playing week in, week out at the highest level. So trust me, there's a huge respect. But we go there with a purpose. We go there with a job. And if we can implement our game plan, we will cause them problems. But we need to be lucky. And sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. And at the minute, through this cup run, we've been lucky. And I'm not saying we were unbelievable at Bournemouth and we done this and this. No. We were really simple in working hard, working together as a team and riding our luck. And if we can do that on Thursday night, who knows? Who knows?
Just stick with you, Luke, because you've done all the research, you'll know all the history as well of upsets in the FA Cup. What are the most inspirational ones for you going into this match?
The Wrexham one, just because obviously against Arsenal is a big one because I'm an Arsenal man. But yeah, the Birmingham one, because again, I'm an Arsenal man. And I remember speaking to them and they said they won it in the tunnel. And I was like, okay, how do you win it in the tunnel? Well, we done this and this. And we said that and that. And you set a seed and it grows. So Kane will tell you, I've evolved as a manager in terms of the way I do things with people. And I think that your language, I'm showing a real positive mindset here in my interview because I have to portray a positive mindset. I have to portray myself in a way that I believe we're going to Everton to win a game of football. Because if I want to go there and take all of Frank Lampard's clothes off at the end of the game and we've been front 8-0, that's not what I'm going there for. I'm going there for a moment. I'm going there to cause an upset. And do I believe it's going to be tough? Wow, like silly, incredibly tough. And again, Cambridge against Newcastle. They went there the round before, whatever it was, and they got success. So Lincoln, I've watched their whole cup run. That's how boring I am. That's how much of a life I don't have. Because Danny Cowley done the unthinkable and got to the quarter-final. So, okay, what did he do in them certain games to get them to them checkpoints, and how did he get to the quarter-final against Arsenal? Yeah, they weren't as successful in the quarter-final, but they beat some big teams. And for me, they'll know exactly what I expect of them come Thursday night. It'll be like it is any other given day. There's no emphasis because it's Everton. Of course, going out at Kingsley, Maidenhead, Eastleigh is slightly different than walking out at Goodison. I get that, but there's got to be a focus. There's got to be an understanding to the job in hand.
Just two more from me. This one's a little bit boring, but actually as important, because I know it's not just about your first team. My understanding is that you've got a fantastic academy that teaches kids how to be men, gives a lot of academic support to your young players as well as footballing expertise. So can you just talk a little bit about that? Because you really take a holistic approach to your younger players as well as your older players, don't you?
Yeah, we have the PACE Academy, which is the Programme of Academic Sport and Excellence. And I've worked alongside that for 16 years. I still oversee that as the head of football here. But we've had some real success stories through that. Sorba Thomas, Iliman Endai, Ben Goodliff. These are all lads that Sorba Thomas made his Welsh debut 3-4 months ago. Iliman Endai was our first Premier League player from the academy. But for me, they're success stories in their own right. But there's, like you hit the nail on the head, we're getting boys from areas of London that are not great, and we bring them in and we fine tune them. We have the ad factor, which is attitude, discipline, and desire, and we ensure that that's instilled in them from the offset. And we have a good network of coaches here that have been through the mill. I played in the league. I failed. I didn't play enough games in the league. We got Lloyd Doyley that played in the Prem. So the caliber of coaches from all different levels for them to draw upon and learn from is incredible. And that started from the chairman. The chairman started that 22 years ago with 12 lads. And now we're in excess of 300, 400 boys. And we're touching lives and improving lives. Boys that are coming here that maybe go the wrong road and not pick the road that you should do in life. But we fine tune them. We sort of get into them too much, but we understand that what it takes to become a man. And they leave here as men and understand that in life you need the ad factor, let alone in football. So I love the work that we do within the local areas and the supporting areas, because I think that it's worked. And my phone's blown up from lads that have previously been through the academy, showing so much support. And yeah, I think it's an unbelievable bit of work that we do at this football club. And I'm so grateful that you've brought that question up. I really am, because we're built from the bottom up. And I say, the chairman says a line, no matter if you're the number 9 in the academy or the number 9 in the first team, you get the same love, care and attention. So I'm really thankful you brought that up.
No problem. You probably won't appreciate this question, but if you had the chance, just my final question, if you had the chance to choose between promotion, you've got a few games in hand at the top, or winning at Goodison Park, which would you take? That's a question for both of you.
I know Gaffer's answer. But yeah, no, I think everyone wants to. We had set out to have a goal this year to get promoted. A lot of people writ us off and still writing us off, but we know what we've got in this group. We might not be individually brilliant, but the togetherness, like we mentioned, this whole cup run and just in our league is amazing. Not just together as a team, but like the Gaffer said, the staff, the fans, the community. Yeah, we'd love to get promoted. That's our aim, well, for us anyway.
So I know what you've done there is it's the teacher and the pupil. So the pupil's given the right answer for the teacher. The teacher says priority the league. He's an idiot, because it should be the win for him. I listen, because if you could bottle what we had at Bournemouth, and the chairman says that we got back on the bus as a team from Bournemouth and we had to drop off at just about Winchester way. We had an hour and 15 minutes on the bus where it was just us. And I mean, there was laughing, singing, jokes being said, alcohol being drunk. And yeah, the hair, and I keep saying the hair on the back of my neck just gone up, just thinking about that journey. My chairman said, I was quite happy if the driver drove around the M25 for the next 12 hours. But the priority is the league. We set out to get out the league. But my Lord, the feeling if the final whistle goes tomorrow and we do the unthinkable, my Lord, yeah. I wouldn't even like to put into words. I would be a wreck, an absolute wreck.
I hope you have that feeling. Good luck for tomorrow night.
Thank you, mate.
Noah, if you want to go next.
Luke, Kane, great to speak to you both. How are you? You okay?
Good, mate. How are you, pal?
Very well, thank you. Birmingham City there, you said they won the game in the tunnel. What were you doing in the tunnel? 8:10 tomorrow night. How will you win the game in the tunnel?
Try and kick Richarlison, Allen, Gomez, Holgate, probably kidnap Pickford, Kenny, and try and go out there 11v3. That would be great. Kane alluded to it. So obviously we've not, I don't believe we're walking out from the same tunnels. But again, we're talking about elite athletes. We're talking about people that know blinkers are on. So as much as we can set a seed for it to grow, these are people that are having it week in, week out, and to try and get into any one of their heads, it'd be foolish of us. What I was saying was that's what Birmingham did. I'm not alluding to what we're going to do, but I wanted to know where they see they won the game and got them, like the 1%, as everyone says now, the 1%. Where did they get their 1% to improve and get their win? So now we're not foolish. We ain't going to be able to get into any elite athlete's head because they're better than that. But we believe we've got some things in our armour that we can cause them problems with. Hopefully, we're able to utilise them over the 90 minutes on Thursday evening.
Hey, can I just ask, fitness-wise, how are you?
Yeah, getting better day by day. It's been a bit of a struggle, obviously, since the Maidenhead game, but the club have done everything for me to get me where I am now. So yeah, fingers crossed, we should be all good.
And Luke, a few injury concerns with Mark Ricketts and Jamal Fifield as well. How are they?
Yeah, we're hopeful 2 out of 3. Obviously, we've had a setback with Jamal. But again, we still got over 24 hours. Still got ages. Got 36 hours. So 30 odd hours. So yeah, Kane and Rico, what a story. Throw another injection in again, they'll probably both score. So, but the idea is to get as close to the Bournemouth team as possible. We have been hit by injuries. Femi, Gus are out. Jammers obviously touch and go. Mark Ricketts trained today, as did Kane. So we've just got to see where we're at come tomorrow. We've got to put into consideration the journey, but we've got a consultant coming up with our medical team to assist with that. We're doing everything, not leaving any stone unturned to ensure that we can have Kane Smith and Mark Ricketts on the pitch, because they will aid us in our quest to go and win a game of football.
And the kits have been a bit of a theme in this press conference. The black kits, really nice, beautiful kits, and the gesture from Everton to pay for them. What does that mean to you, to the club, and what do you think of the kits?
Just on that, they're class. They've been absolutely class, Everton, on all fronts. And the chairman spoke to, I think it is their chairman, and just to outlay, obviously, the issues that we have. No problem, we'll sort it. And then it was, they're dealing with our travel and overnight. Well, no problem, we'll sort it. I just think it's unbelievable. And I've got to be honest with you, I'm an Arsenal fan. My second team now is probably Everton, just because of what they've done. And it just shows you there is good people still left in the game. And for little clubs like us, them gestures are massive, are absolutely massive. And it goes such a long way. And I just want everyone to know, if you're an Evertonian or a Blue Nose like Kano, your club's class. It's absolutely class. What they've done for us in this cup run is amazing, and we thank them wholeheartedly.
And you touched on Lloyd Doyley earlier, and he's played in the Premier League. He's played up against the best players. How valuable has he been in this cup run?
Cup run, the league run, the academy. If I was Lloyd Doyley, I'd drive through with Watford songs on out my sunroof saying I played in the Prem. He's the most humble guy ever. We finished training today. We got an academy game over in Enfield. He's off the Astro straight away on the minibus, drives the kids off to train to take a game, and that just shows you the measure of the man. And it's unbelievable. And I know he speaks to Lloydie as he should do so much, and he draws upon his experiences as I do. I sit down with Lloydie and say, "Who's your best manager?" And he says, "Zola." Okay, why was Zola? And he'd tell me the experience he has is unbelievable. Best defensive record in the division. He just landed on our door. Yeah, listen, we had a good defensive record for the 5 of the 6 seasons in the National League, top 3, which is great. This is unrecognisable. He's played a massive part in that. In the cup run, he played a massive part. He's my yin to my yang, because I am constant, and you see in this interview, I'm lively. He's calm, collected, he's nice, and we balance off each other superbly. So the cup run, the league campaign, the academy, everything he's brought to this club has been fantastic. And yeah, I know that he'll only echo what I'm saying with regards to Lloyd.
Kane, Luke says there that Lloyd's a humble guy. I think Luke is one of the most humble men in football. So I'm going to embarrass Luke a little bit now. The whole country is pile praising him. Tell me, what has this manager done for this club for you? How important is Luke? And just praise him a little bit now. This is your chance.
No, he's been amazing. Hands down the best manager I've ever had, but he had 2, to be fair. Nah, he's been excellent. I think all the boys say it, and especially in a couple of the interviews I've done, is like the attention to detail that he's got is ridiculous, silly. Like the way he'll go home and watch games. He'll be on the coach on the way back and everyone's playing cards and Uno and he's watching a National League game. He don't let it go, and that just shows how far he's come and why he's got so much success in his career. I think, with Doyley as well, he's been amazing. But yeah, I think where we are today in the Cup and the league is down to the gaffer and his analysis. Well, you would say Jordan, the analysis would be up there as well, but I think it's down to the gaffer, yeah.
And a couple more, Luke. I know you work very closely with Rob Blackburn, the mindset coach, the football mindset coach. How's he helped you in terms of your mindset going into this game, mentally going to such a huge game? How does someone like Rob help you?
Changed my life, let alone football life. You would have watched me. Kane would have experienced me 2 years ago. My touchline manner was frantic, and I used to think I'd love to play for me because that's how I got built up. And he's changed the way my language is, and it's not swearing language as in terms of the way I portray myself, how I portray my message, the way I am in between half times. He's been massive to me. He's been massive to this club. The chairman put him in place 2 years ago. Kane was living on a flat on his own. Adam McDonald was living from Ireland on a flat on his own. We had Tyrone Marsh in a house on his own. And the chairman thought that we needed to look after these lads because they are training and going home for 12, 14 hours on their own. There's no interaction. So we got Rob Blackburn involved and we done team meetings and we spoke about obviously togetherness and all them bits, but people would pick the phone up to Rob. And I don't know them conversations. I don't know whether Kane did or anyone has, but I know that people would have picked the phone up to him to get a bit of advice. So he's been a friend of the club in a long time, friend of mine, friend of the chairman, but he's been working very closely with myself and the club the last 2 years. And look where we've gone. And I do things with podcasts, with coach-athlete relationships. I genuinely believe it's 80% people and 20% football. I genuinely believe that. If you said now to yourself and you got this and someone said, how good was that? Well done. You'd feel good now. So I think that it's a massive, massive part of where the game's going. And that's something that I've evolved with. And I'm only scratching the surface. I want to go on from here, but he's been tremendous, absolutely tremendous for me personally. And I know that he would have worked closely with a lot of the squad. And I think he said it, Lloyd Doyley plays a part, the Can Ingels play a part, everyone plays a part in delivering on what we've achieved this season for sure.
And finally, Luke, I asked you last time before the Bournemouth game, if you beat the Cherries, what would the prize be? You told me it would be greasy pizza. If you beat Everton, surely you've got to up your game a little bit, Luke. What's the prize going to be for this? Like, what's the reward?
We'll have caviar on pizza. The pizzas are greasy, I've got to be honest with you. And I'm not going to say what company they come from, but they need to up their game, Kano, right? We're athletes and we're eating greasy pizza. No, I like to just start the game, Noah. I want to start the game. I hate this period now. As a manager, you talk to a lot of managers. This is horrible now. You've done your work. Everything's been implemented in terms of the sessions, the analysis side of things, and all you want to do is get down to the nitty gritty. I don't mind the coach, I have to say, because it gives me a little respite, but it's the hour, 2 hours before the game. I hate it. It drives me insane. So all I want to get to is the whistle, start, and then watch and see where we're going and what we can improve on and build on. So I won't think it's like buying a lottery and spending the money. I don't even want it yet. So all I want to do is get to the game, play the game, and see how it comes out and where it plays out, and if we can influence it from the side along with the players to try and put it in our favour.
Good luck tomorrow, guys. Enjoy the game.
Thank you.
Hero, Noah.
Thanks, Noah. Tom, I think you're last, so if you want to go ahead.
Yeah, just a couple of quick ones to finish off for me, Luke. How are you doing? You okay?
I'm very well, thank you, mate. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you. I'm sat in my car, excuse that. I've just had to dip into a service station.
So your living room looks well.
I just want to take you back 7 years ago for about 6.5 years ago when you took over from Ian Allinson, and immediately you were facing a relegation battle that I suppose threatened the club's National League future, and you were plotting the downfall of the likes of Welling and Guiseley, and that's no disrespect to those teams, but You talked about the project before. Has this kind of got to a point where it's gone beyond your wildest imaginations?
No. For the first time, I honestly believe that the on the field has married up to off the field. Stadium's amazing. The training ground. We're in a classroom here now, which is outstanding. We have 11 classrooms on site. We have analyst suites. We have gym. So yeah, I don't think this is out of my wildest dreams. 7 years ago, I was in a relegation battle with a newborn and caring for my family or mum. I nearly quit. I went into the office and told the chairman, I'm not ready for this. At 30, I thought I knew everything. I knew nothing. And it was hard. So people now say, pressure in the playoffs. There's no pressure. It's not pressure. That's fun. We're trying to get into the playoffs. Pressure's trying to stay in the division. That could have been my first and last job. And I'm thankful the chairman offered me the job. And I remember the conversation very clearly. At my niece's christening, the old manager has resigned. Are you ready? Yeah, I'm ready. I was 30 and I was flash. And I've got to be honest with you, I know more than I did then, and I know nowhere near what I want to know to get to where I want to get to. And this is a project I believe in. This is a project that I see has legs. And I was always told as a young manager, I'd ring 3 or 4 experienced manager, get the right vehicle. And I believe this is the right vehicle. I genuinely believe we've got FL aspirations, and that's just not sound bites. We're set, we're ready to go. We've obviously been successful in 2 FA Cup runs, that's by. But year on year, we're building on things. We're better this year because we're putting people on contracts. We hold the aces in terms of if we was to get to a playoff and we're not successful again, we're not getting cherry picked out. But yeah, 7 years ago, could I envisage us to be where we are in the division? 100%. Could I envisage us being in the 5th round of the FA Cup? Not in my wildest dreams. So this, for me, is in my wildest dreams. But in the National League, no, I think we're a good side, and people will say we're a good side. We do things properly, and I think we have the respect of the National League for sure.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier, obviously, the Danny Cowley piece around what he did with Lincoln and the likes of Sutton as well. I think in the same year as Lincoln got to the quarter-final, and they've proven, haven't they, that despite what happens, if it does come to an end tomorrow, which hopefully it doesn't, it can only be the beginning, can't it, to build on something and take the club to that next level.
I'm so sorry you cut out mid-thing. I apologise.
I was just saying, so you mentioned Danny Cowley, obviously, with the Lincoln City run that they had. Sutton United in the same year had a similar run as well. And they've proven, if you look at where they are now, they've proven that this doesn't have to be, this can be the beginning of something as well, can't it?
I think so. Listen, we've got this new age supporter, and this isn't nitpicking at this new age supporter, but they would have been off the back of us being to Wembley. They would have seen us at Wembley. They would have seen us the following year go to the playoffs against Harrogate and lose in the semi-final. They would have seen us play with Millwall, and they would have obviously seen this cup run this year. We're appreciative of the league, the level. We understand how tough it is. I have a great working relationship with the chairman, and we have honest conversations, and we know how tough it is to replicate this sort of season year on year. But we do it with smartness. We're bright. We spend our money in the key areas with regards to staff and infrastructure, and I think it allows you to have a platform to build on. And you touched on it. Lincoln are doing what they're doing now, and now Sutton, which is fantastic. And if we can emulate what them two have done, I'll be such a proud man. But we've got our own story to tell, and hopefully we can get there one day. Hopefully it's this season. But at the minute, I want to enjoy this opportunity of going to Goodison with the players and the staff. That's my main aim this week.
Brilliant. Best of luck, Luke and Kane. Thank you.
Cheers, mate.
Perfect. I think that's everyone. So if everyone's happy, then that's it.
Good luck, guys. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, lads.